What's up, listeners? Welcome back to another episode of the Jaftaf Show, and we are the Jaftaf.
Yes. So, boys and girls, today we're discussing about the musical movie called La La Land.
It's literally very musical, but
Yeah,
but yeah, the visuals are the ones that actually won and took my attention.
same here.
And yeah, man, it was great. So you wanna start or I would because my experience watching it again was pretty great.
Yeah.
So I have actually a story to tell. But you
Okay.
can
Okay.
go. You can go. Yeah.
So, so actually, when I was watching this movie, I was kind of I was kind of the audience who doesn't like musicals, but surprisingly, this movie gave me a shock that all the music used in these films were so good that I kept listening to this the whole soundtrack album even in the morning and while coming back from my office. So uh, basically I love the song where Mia and Sebastian's soundtrack. So that kind of uh, stuck to my head for so many hours now at least. And if you talk about the film part, usually in musical films, we see that it's always musical. There's not a lot of story wise. What do you say? Uh, Plot wise, but this movie surprised me because this movie will be top 10 in my list because uh, every characters, every actors, all the extras, all the locations were so related to each other. And yeah, man, like I wish I could see this movie in theater, but fuck, man, I missed it. But yeah, overall, this you know what this is the type of movie which I'll be remembering for so many years. And whenever I'll think about this movie, I'm gonna have a smile on my face. So
Nice,
yeah,
nice. So, so like this was the first time before the episode you watched the movie for the first time.
yes.
All right, nice, nice. So guys, I watched this movie for the very first time in 2020 when COVID was going on. And at that time I watched this movies because I was more into
Mhm.
I wanted to see like how these academy winning movies are, how they work. But at that time, obviously, I was not able to grasp the information it was giving visually, especially. Right. At that time when I watched, I was like, oh yeah, it's a musical movie. Okay, this happening, that happening, both were together, and then they were not together. Like that was the perspective. That was the you can see that was the
Mhm.
information that I received. So what happened today? I woke up in the morning at 2:30. I don't know why. I just my eyes were open and I was like, dude, I got so much stuff in office and I haven't watched the movie that we need to record. So I guess I should watch it. So I downloaded it at 2:45 and started watching the movie at 3 o'clock.
Damn.
You know, at that time it was raining outside, right? And it was so quiet, except the raining part. And I started watching this movie and the journey started. And I was start noticing every single take, the play with the lighting part, you know. So when around 1 hour passed away and I just paused it, I was like, let's take an interval and have something. When I just stood up, I was like, shit man, am I in Hollywood? Because I
Yeah.
just lost it. I forgot that where I was. It was and after finishing before just finishing the movie, I went outside and I was feeling like I was part of the movie because outside there was the whole road was wet because of the rain, and there were two street
Yeah.
lights that were coming from top and coming from side, so it was giving you that top light effect, right?
Mhm.
And the side which is giving you the outlining of it, and it was like it actually enhanced my experience at that time. So I was feeling so glad that I watched that movie in the morning only,
Mhm.
because because I was so detached from the world that I was in. And I haven't even started talking about the movie. I'm just explaining you the experience that I
Yeah,
had after while watching and even after watching. So it was, when I was outside, it was a little cold, but there was no much. It was not breezy, but with the lights, if you would have seen the lights, you would be like, dude, it is looking like we are part of La La Land.
yeah,
And yeah, man, it was, it was very relieving, and I felt the same thing that when this movie came, I had no knowledge about films and all, right? And if this kind of movie would have came now, or at that time, if I would have the knowledge, the same kind of knowledge that I have, it would be awesome to watch this movie in theaters.
yeah,
The wide visuals, the anamorphic lenses that they used, and the one take techniques the cinematographer used, and like spotlighting on the
yeah.
character, and then everything dims out, means it's the beautiful, the movie is musical, obviously, but it was a consolidified work of visuals,
Mm-hmm.
right? Right, with playing with the music. And yeah, I remember when we were in our college, right? When we were studying our
When when
things.
when
So
we were in our La La Land.
no, 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 no. It was our after hours,
Yeah,
guys. You'll know.
yeah.
So we got to know about this guy whose name is Ari. Means he's a steady cam operator. His name is Ari.
Uh-huh.
So so you remember that shot where one side Emma Stone, Mia is
Yeah, yeah.
dancing, and another side Sebastian is playing, right? So
They had
there
showed
this
this.
take where camera is moving like that.
Yes, yes.
So Ari was the person who actually did that. Even all the steady cam shots were taken by him only.
Mm.
He's like an expert. He get most of the gigs because you need obviously a steady cam operator where you need these kind of lengthy shots where you are especially following the characters and all. Uh, you remember that shot when Mia was denied in the beginning only, when before seeing Sebastian for the very first time,
Mm.
when she was at her apartment and her friends were asking her like,
Mm-hmm.
let's go out,
Yes,
and then
yes,
she comes out with blue dress.
yes. The
So the
iconic.
shot, yeah, yeah, yeah. So the shot is like a camera is covering them. It is on eye level, and then camera goes up. So at that time, that Ari guy was holding the steady cam and following these guys, and then he went on a crane, and then the crane went up, and then he
Mm-hmm.
like tilt down the camera so that like there is no jerk in between. So I guess
Yeah,
I think how cinematographer grasped the music and the direction of the movie is, it's out of the level. I guess it's
yeah.
uncomparable.
Yeah, I mean, like, I totally agree with your thing where you said that where Emma Stone takes a bath and when friends say, "Let's go and party," wear this dress. Uh, you know what? Like, I had started watching this movie with very low expectations that okay, this might be some very uh, pooky, girly movie where it's all about the girly stuff, the romantic stuff. Recently, we saw Ryan Gosling in Barbie movie where he played somewhere that simping character. Then I had the same thought in my mind. Okay, this is gonna be something very boring, at least for me, but this turned out to be something very memorable, and this became my instant favorite movie. And the blocking, the staging in the scene where she even lip syncs her the what do you say songs, and she performs her choreograph she performs choreography very neat, like from this room to that room. Her friends are like going around her. She comes outside. She changes her dress. All the lighting, the tone, the focus, everything was so sharp. I mean, like, you know what? Like sometimes I think, was there any mistake in this movie, or was it all like how can someone make so perfectly? Like,
We'll tell you one. We'll tell you, but yeah,
okay,
yeah. You go
yeah,
ahead, please.
yeah. So. at least for first time viewer, I felt like this has to be one of the flawless movie I have seen like in a recent time. I don't know like what's behind this, but this at least for me, I think this is what I feel. And one of the best opening sequences is that when all the characters from the bridge, they come out of the cars and they start dancing. And you know what, like I didn't feel anything because all the characters were dancing. I felt, how did they stage this scene in middle of a road or middle of a highway? I was like, I was least interested in the people who was dancing there. But I was like, how did they take permission to shoot there? How the hell did they get all these cars parked there? Like, how did they teach dancers how to dance? And you know what? Like, there were majority long takes there. Like, every dancer had this spot, one coming from the car, and one dancer is jumping from the bumper, the car side. And suddenly, we see a bunch of people gathered in a circle there. And the drummers from the truck, they reveal it. And suddenly, there's a lot of,
That was my favorite
yeah,
part there. You know, when that drum started,
yes, yes.
and there was this woman who is like holding that fan thing, and then she
Ah,
starts dancing like that. You know, the coordination of it. You know,
yeah,
people won't notice her till the time she does that.
yes,
You know,
yes,
you are so engaged in that beat and the fluid. You know,
yeah, yeah.
it was so engaging. You know, because music and dance was performing side by side,
Hmm,
right?
hmm, hmm, hmm. Yeah. So yeah, the one more thing is when they reveal that drummers from the truck part, I guess, whatever is it. So there we see a small group of people gathering around the truck to hear them properly. There we see one character coming from the side, taking a spot in the center. Suddenly we see that camera from left to right. Then one lady enters and the camera goes from left to right to top angle, very smoothly, very amazingly, from top angle to from the car shot where some guy does somersault. You know, it kind of made me realize, oh shit, man, like this is, it looks very easy on screen, it looks very creamy on screen, but it has to be very well choreographed. And hats off to all the extras there, all the dancers there, man. Like honestly, if any audience are seeing this, you may feel this movie was very short. This movie was shot very softly or very smoothly as butter, but I know and we know that it was choreographed very properly, and I think it took a lot of time. So yeah, man, like it was crazy. And yeah, one more
Yes,
thing,
very
we
impressive. Yeah.
yeah, I'll just add up to your point with then you said we're gonna see in theater. Actually, the La La Land usually releases every year in theater during Valentine's Day. So probably this time I might go to watch La La Land in theater. Let's see.
Well, that time is not great, but yeah, it doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah.
Because when the filmmakers are going to watch this movie, they are not going to see this movie as a love story. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
it is just like two people who had their motivations, and at last, after making sacrifice, they made it.
Yes.
That
Yes.
is how I see it.
Yes. Yes.
It is never about to pursuing your life for somebody else, but for themselves only.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
at last, why, to achieve, to obviously reach the greater goals, to pull out a great actor
Mm-hmm.
that Mia wanted to become, and a great jazz artist that Sebastian wanted to become. He always wanted to open his club, right?
Mm-hmm.
For jazz club,
Oh,
and he did it,
yeah.
right? So,
Sep
so,
Club.
and so, yeah, so everything was so precise. Means it's just like there were so many grid lines on this movie that, and every person who's a part of the team, like they followed that line so accurately, and
Yeah.
and we can see in the shots, and the first sequence itself in the movie tells you that how great the movie is going to be.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
you even just like you said, like I was never into musical movies. I totally agree. I was also not a very big fan of that. But you know, I was just watching it. I was just consuming it, and it made me so energized. You know, I was half asleep. It was 2:30 in the morning. I'm downloading the movie in 5 minutes and just started watching. I was like, yeah, yeah. And
Mhm.
the best part was that, because when I was planning to watch this movie with people around me, but I was like, no, I did the right thing, because that way
Mhm.
I was able to understand the ambience of the movie, and it just made me pull out from my situation. And every sequence, the sequence when Mia and Sebastian actually started communicating for the very first time, when he was at a birthday party or somewhere and Mia requested, please sing run. There was this one song, and they started playing it.
Mhm.
So after that, when they both were looking at Mia's car, like where is the car, and they both performed
Mhm. The
uh,
iconic
a
dance
dance,
steps.
and it was, that
Yes.
iconic step, something like this was that.
Yeah.
So it was very great, and I was kept, because I also like to dance, and I'm a very big fan of footworking. So there I was keep on looking at their feet, because how they are tapping on the road, and how they are scratching on the road, and going from one place to another. It was very perfect. You will never feel that, uh, wherever their position on in the frame, you will never feel that like they are out of the focusing part. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it is a deep focus shot. You can see Hollywood behind it, and wherever they are going, your eyes will follow it. You won't be looking at anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the power of the music, of the performance, so that you are not even thinking about the composition at that particular period, right? Although obviously dancing is a composition, that's how they compose it. But when I was watching it, I was totally focusing on that, right? Like, yeah, man, how well they are
Mhm.
performing, and then they are going away. And when I was watching this movie, I it just reminded me of the movie called Drive that came in 2011.
Yeah.
Same
Okay.
Ryan Gosling did the movie, right? That Kavinsky song was there, no? There is
Mhm.
something inside you,
Yeah.
right, right. So I was feeling like this guy always do the best things to the woman, and he never gets the girl he wants, because in Drive, the same thing happened to him. But I was like, I guess he made the right sacrifice for the right person, and 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 that's how supposed to be. That's how it was supposed to go. Because you were talking. You just said, right. I was not even able to say a single mistake that was happening. I
Ah.
don't know the thing that I noticed was a mistake or not.
Okay.
Okay, so there was this last sequence when the people who actually hired her, like, you're gonna be the you're gonna go to Paris, and then
Mhm.
there was going to be 3 months training,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the movie is going to start. So they asked her, like, you are a very good storyteller.
Yeah.
Tell us a story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she started talking about her aunt. You
Ah. Ah.
remember?
Ah. Ah.
So so there we see, like, everything dims,
Yes.
all the lights except that spotlight that falls
Yeah. Yeah.
on Mia, right? So camera goes close up to her, then uh, takes a round around her, and then comes back. So when it starts
Ah.
coming
It's
back,
blurs out.
Mia gets a
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
little bit so I watched it again,
Yeah.
but I understood that if I would have composed that shot, right,
Yeah.
and that kind of mistake by chance would have happened, I wouldn't have repeated it,
Yeah.
the shot, because composing all that, there are certain elements that are working there.
Yeah.
The actor is performing, right? The light guys are doing that. So it's just the one thing that focus puller had to
Yeah.
do, but I guess we can just take it, because
Yeah.
it is we people are lost in the things that she's
Mhm.
saying.
Yeah.
Like what she's saying about, like, you have to have some madness inside you, right? And it is going to because it is going to pull out the colors that you want to have in your
Mhm.
life, right? And because I was also listening like what she's trying to tell us, because that was the time, that was the first time she was actually talking about briefly about her aunt, because
Mm-hmm.
obviously she told Sebastian that because of my aunt I got interested in becoming an actress, right?
Mm-hmm.
But where she was telling about the journey, the 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 pain that you feel,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
she went back to her home, how frustrated she was,
yeah,
like I cannot do it, after her first show,
yeah.
like I just can't do it. But
Actually,
that was the
actually,
point
yeah.
that made
If
her
you
something.
if you just take a look out of the thing when they were making that scene where they're rolling around her, revolving around her, there, they kind of went close to her face. There you can see like she was kind of suffering, and she was like she just wanted someone to hear a story. And yeah, they were the people who were auditioning her. So she was like, she used this space as putting spotlight on her life, that okay, now I got the opportunity, I'm gonna tell story. You remember like when the auditioners, when the people were auditioning her, they told Mia, you're a good actor. Why, like, you could just come up with any story. She took a while, uh, like imagining what story can I tell them so that they're gonna select me. But she just thought, why do I want to say any other stories when I have my own story of my life, where uh, there's someone to hear me out. So I felt that she was given the spot, and she told a story, and she kind of managed to impress the audition, managed to kill the audition like very properly. Yeah, I'll come to the point where you were saying the blur thing, right? When I was watching for the first time, like I have this ADHD like thing, not ADHD. This what do you say that like if you see some error there, I'll be like, okay, I pointed that. But then okay, like I know that shot was blurred there. I was like, am I going to sleep? Like, my eyes are getting blurred. Then I just went back. I saw it again. Okay, no, it was blurred. But then okay, when I look back, the whole process of the movie, uh, it doesn't come to my mind itself. Now suddenly I remember of the shot. Then I remember, okay, well, coming back, the blur thing happened. But overall, if you just talk about the whole movie, I don't think that's not even like 0.000%. Like it can be avoided,
Doesn't
or
matter, man. I'm telling you,
yeah,
it doesn't matter. It just
yes,
happened. I'm
yes,
telling you, if I would have composed that shot and
yeah,
something like that would have happened, I was
yeah,
like, let's just get it over with, man.
yes,
We
yes.
we got the
You
things that we
know, you
wanted.
know what? If I was a director in the shot, and one of my crew were the main guy to create the shot or compose the shot. After the shot, I would be like, bro, you got the raise. I'm gonna raise. I'm gonna give you extra money, or I'm gonna give you like whatever. Like, bro, I would have just like, I would have been mad there. Like, shit, man. Like, how did you do this? So I now I kind of feel that we we now while watching this movie, I kind of feel that we have to make some benchmark projects where we could collaborate with such a big legendary cast, the crew, because end of the day, this movie kind of made me sad, but what happened in the story. But after that, it made me realize we we kind of need to like do some crazy stuff, like legendary stuff, because man, it kind of motivated me to like do crazy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You are right about the part where you're mentioning, like, obviously a director and a cinematographer have their ways to
Yes. Yes.
create things, but we should never forget the people who are actually executing all this, the
Yes. Yes.
cast, the crew, right? Who guys who are holding the camera, who are taking care of those minor things that
Camera
are somehow
operators,
making the shot.
holofocus guy, sound guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even the guys who are assisting them, and
Yes. Yes.
that
Yes.
is, I'm talking about even those guys, right? just to make that one shot possible, so that like director could show what his
Mhm.
vision wanted. Like they say, cinematographer is the person who creates the director vision into feasible reality, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But a cinematographer also needs the people who can actually help him
Yes,
to
yes.
lead the vision, right? Because before, directors are the people who are briefing or giving a deep uh, thought about the shot, description about the thought. But cinematographer is the first person who is creating it in the, after cinematographer creates it, director sees it for the very first time. They can imagine it,
Yes,
they can
yes.
draw it, but
Yes.
actually seeing it for the very first time, when the cinematographer creates it. And when you do something like that, you win Academy Award. And that is what
Yes.
happened with this movie.
Yes.
Because the coordination, there is always, cinematography is like always lively in this movie. Lights are going off, on. It was not just the camera movement.
Mhm.
Light is making a shot. I'll tell you, like, sometimes you are in a deep focus and you never know with light you'll make it shallow, because your
Mhm.
focus will
Mhm.
come to a single point, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
and who is doing that? The lights are doing that. you know
Mhm.
Surround light is going off and the spotlight is coming, and the direction of the light making the character so isolated. That is what I felt when I was watching this movie in the morning. you
Mhm.
know exactly. The not the characters but the visuals were creating an impact on me. Just like I told you, when I was watching Gravity, I felt like I was not on Earth. You remember when
Mhm.
I was watching
Yes,
we were
yes.
watching, I watched Gravity. I was like, oh shit, I'm not in I'm in space or what? But
Yeah.
the same thing happened to me here. The surrounds were so calm and quiet.
Mhm.
You know, in the last sequence when Sebastian started playing
Yeah.
playing piano.
Mia and
Yeah,
Sebastian's
you
theme.
remember? Yeah. And that is one of my favorite sequences. Why? Because they are
Mhm.
so fast-paced and even well executed. The
Mhm.
same way all the shots that were executed, the last sequence were executed the same way, but it was fast-paced. Makes it more engaging because
Mhm.
you are telling the entire story in a very different way, that how things could have happened,
Mhm.
right? But still you use the same techniques, same ways, and you were able to create the same beautiful visuals,
Mhm.
but in a very short period of time, and you did it. That was the best thing that happened here.
Yeah.
And how Mia lost in that thought, like what could have happened, how life could have led me to that, or how life could have led me to there, and how well composed the shots were when they are going to from one room to another, coming out from box, and
Yeah,
then they
yeah.
were on the Hollywood streets, and then they are in Paris, where, because just like Sebastian said, that in Paris the jazz is good, so he is playing jazz there, right?
Yeah.
And on the other side, Mia is acting. Means, that was the hope of Mia, that if this would have happened, how I would have been much more happy.
Mhm.
But like I said, like, the is the bigger the sacrifice. People, I never felt it that way, that these guys should have been together. No, man, it's a good thing because they are always going to chase for that vacancy that is
Mhm.
in their heart, right?
Yeah.
Because they left that person, and they had to lose the part of their heart that went away with that person.
Mhm.
So they're gonna do the best in their life to always fill that void, and it is never going to happen
Yes, yes.
because a person cannot be perfect. You remember when Matthew McConaughey received a Oscar for Dallas Buyers Club?
Mhm.
So he said that, somebody asked me, who is your, what kind of person you want to become. So he said, like, ask me after 10 years.
Mhm.
So after 10 years, somebody asked him, the same person asked him, like, have you became the person you wanted to be? He's like, no. He is 10 years ahead. I'm still chasing. So he said,
Oh.
like, I'm never going to chase that person. You know, I'm I'm never going to become that person because I'm always going to be a chaser.
Mm.
That will make me to be a person who is keep on chasing but never becoming the perfect. Because if you stop, you just stop there. But that's how you become a chaser. And that is what these guys did. They
True.
created that void, and to fill up that void, they became the best how they became in their fields. And look,
Mm.
at last, people should not say that, oh yeah, these guys should have been together. No, guys, look what they have achieved. Look
Yeah.
what they have became in their lives. You know, people would know like how great Mia is. Now people would know like the people who used to think that like jazz is dying. No, in the heart of the
Sebastian
Hollywood,
saved it.
jazz is still exists.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude,
Mm.
I'm telling you, the time that I chose to watch this movie actually changed my mind.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean like I can relate to you whatever you said because it's the same feeling even I had when I watched this for the first time. In fact, like yesterday I watched it. So, yeah, if we start from first, like we see Mia in traffic. She's just imagining how dreamy. In fact, I think the word La La Land represents a dreaminess what each character had in their mind towards other character, like Sebastian, like honking Mia from back in the traffic that why you're not moving in the front. This kind of started when they were strangers, but they happened to be chased by each other, like scenarios where Mia was working in a coffee club, like cafe, where she was doing her full-time job, and Sebastian, who was like struggling musician, and like I really enjoyed the part where like first they showed Mia's life, how she was going the traffic, and cut to the that coffee cafe where she went to her like the reality. Before reality, her life was like very dreamy, where everyone in the traffic, they're dancing. It was like a set. Then I got to know what exactly La La Land is. Like La La Land is something like a dreamy land where imagination works like such a way. Then then we see imaginative scenario from Sebastian's point of view, where where he imagines that he meets this girl. Like it's all imaginary. They both had this thought that what if I get this person? What if I get this person? Like, if I get this person, how would my life turn to be? Like, we're gonna go there, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. They're planning this montages in their head where they were traveling, they were going to the park, they were having their kisses, and they went to the movie together. And if I'm not wrong, where Sebastian and Mia, they went for the first time in the movie, uh, I guess that was the place where Michael Jackson's Thriller music video was shot there. The iconic music video where Michael Jackson was eating popcorn and watching Devils on the screen. So I guess I'm not if I'm not wrong, I guess that's the theater where the music video was shot. And yeah, man, like the the director and the cinematographer choose the best way to present it by showing it in anamorphic. Because if this whole movie was shot in open matte, the whole essence would have missed, and what you would say, the cinematic feel would have been lost. And and one of the best sequences that where the at the ending where uh, Mia and her husband, I guess, where they went to see Sebastian's performance on the stage, where suddenly she sees in the audience that Mia is he's a part of audience there. She came there exact like if obviously when Mia had her performance, Sebastian couldn't make it, but Mia knowingly unknowingly she went to watch in Sebastian's club, and there she sees, okay, now Sebastian has made it what he said that he wants to open a club for jazz players, where she sees this Seb's cafe, and she comes with her husband, and there I could feel what she was going through. She was just seeing the love of her imaginative mind, doing her best, and you know what? That's the scene where I was like, oh shit, man, what's going on? Like, two couples who just wanted to be together, but there are few scenarios where they couldn't be, and one from a different side and one from different side, and we could see actually the sadness what Sebastian was going through when he was playing through the piano, and Mia went into imaginary mind where she just imagined an alternative world where if Sebastian and Mia would have been together, that's not how the life would have turned out. But yeah, man, this actually it's actually great narrative where you have one linear plot with imaginary plot with two characters. So in a way, this movie even taught me how to add same primary plot to the movie, and adding one more imaginary thoughts inclining with the same plot. So in a way, they say it's a musical film. I would say it's a great narrative film, and a great story wise. And obviously, cinematography is like the cheese on, like the pie on top of this. In a way, yeah, man. Like, I don't know what happened to, like, how did they make this movie, but they executed very perfectly, and yeah, man. Like, Sebastian, I feel bad for you, bro.
Well, well, I was very very happy, and I got so much motivated that people have the ability like to create something like that.
Yeah.
How happy it will make you when you are creating a visual like that, and how proud you'll be, like every single person there, right? Like these guys helped me made my vision come true,
Yeah.
right? Whosoever is dancing and whosoever is back on the track singing or playing whatever, right? And I could relate myself to Sebastian in a way because he was very detailed to things.
Mm.
I'm also like that when I'm telling my interest to somebody. I was very very detailed about it. Like, can you look, and those people are not even able to understand how I am telling them those things. Just
Yeah.
like he was when on the very first time when Sebastian and Mia went out when they were in the jazz club, right?
Mm-hmm.
There were these four guys who were playing. So he was like he was telling her, like, these guys are on their own melancholy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
everybody is following their own
Jazz is
path
dying
here,
out, basically.
and it was the way of expressing, so I could relate to that way. Like, yeah, if I'm telling about somebody about the movies and stuff, like how I'm going to watch it. But but because of the Jaftaf show, I'm able to express it very properly.
Yeah.
So 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 and yeah, dude, like, maybe if I would have watched this movie, I don't know, man. I watched this movie 4 years back. At that time, I was thinking about, okay, these two guys were not together. But right now, I just told you, I don't think it
Mm-hmm.
that way. It was a greater sacrifice for greater good, and
Yeah.
and I guess after some time, it is not even a sacrifice. I guess it is the things that you are giving to the universe, means receiving from the universe just took that in a way to just like took a person away from your life. And it's not like they are dead. It's
Yeah.
like they
Yeah.
are there only, and you both are like becoming elite in your fields. And and
Yeah.
every shot has a, it's just like whenever these some particular sequences has their uh, what I would say powerness, like powerfulness. For the first sequence, the last sequence,
Mm-hmm.
right? And those one take shots where Mia is singing and telling her story. It's just like these scenes elevate you. You are not living on
Mm-hmm.
a living in a normal world. You are just like you said, that dreamy world. So these kind of one take shots with the music and singing elevate you, make you feel, actually makes you high, so that you can
Yeah. Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
and what anamorphic lens did, it actually enhanced the visual, because with spherical lens the visuals will be much more realistic,
Mm.
right? But with anamorphic lens, uh, it becomes much more dreamy. The focus area becomes more shallow, means more smaller,
Mhm.
obviously, because at the edge of the frames you can see like it is not that straight and
Yeah.
focused.
Actually,
So for every
there were few shots where I could see that vignette forms in the
yeah,
screen.
yeah, even I did.
Yeah.
You remember when Sebastian took Mia to the for the auditions,
There,
where
correct,
she
there.
got so
The long
that
shot.
that that that, that yeah, yeah. They place the house they chose for Mia was corner,
Mhm.
because it gives a perspective, and that
Yeah.
was a very great call to, if you would have put it in the middle of a street, it would have a 2D shot. But right
Mhm.
now you can see that, and it makes the shot very wide, even if
Yes.
it's a dreamy thing. So that was a great call. Every single composition is just like they are drawing continuously.
Yeah,
Continuously they
yeah,
are
yeah.
drawing, and there's this music tone that is following that drawing, right?
Yes.
And then cinematographer came along and made that visual real
Yeah,
with so many people. And but it was never bothered. It's just like the visuals and the, like you said, the narrative of the story was so strong, so upfront.
yeah. Mhm.
Like, you are not going to it cannot go unnoticed.
Mhm.
That kind of impact it provides you. you know every single shot, every single sequence has the power to it. But there were some sequences who has the power to elevate you to think in a dreamy way. Just like, and these kind of, just like Mia, when she was narrating the story, like, you have to pull out the madness, to pull out those colors that are required. You to become a person like that, you have to be like a dreamy person, you have to think that way.
Yeah.
Like, you need not to in a uniform way. You have to think out of out of the bloom, and then ideas that looks ridiculous in the first place, but when you execute them, they are worth doing.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know and and obviously, the best part about the creativity, that you are never going to know when it is going to surprise you.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and it just, you will, and you will be like, shit, I didn't expect that. I knew that I could do it, but I didn't expect that it is going to
Mhm.
happen. And we experience it when we make something,
Yes, yes.
right? When we do our podcast, and when we all keep on seeing our channel, we always we sometimes get surprised. Oh shit, this happened or that happened.
In
We never
fact, we're getting
expected that to happen.
surprises uh, these days.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay, okay. So, so, so yeah, man, and that is how the creativity works. I would literally would like to make movies like that, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally being part of, I seriously look at Ryan Gosling and the kind of projects that he did. It's just so awesome. These these kind of, part of, the story was about these two people only, like Mia and Sebastian, and the whole world roam around them only.
Mhm.
It obviously, there were other characters too, but it was solely based about these two, nobody else. And it was, dude, it was great.
Mhm. Yeah. Uh,
No question about it.
yeah. So if you talk about the cinematography and the colors used in the whole movie is like there's so much to talk about, but you remember like the scene where Mia does her acting debut, like not debut, but she does a performance, and Sebastian should have come there, but he misses his uh, the chance to come there, and where she comes out, uh,
Play, you mean to play that she
yeah,
herself
yeah.
wrote and performed,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
There, like she performs and she was like, she comes out frustrated, like, uh, everything is over. Like Sebastian asks, like, what's over? All this between us, and she was like, I'm gonna go home. Like she was like, he was like, home, like I'll come tomorrow. She's like, home, like proper home. Then she leaves there, and we see a wide shot where like the in the building where she comes out, and we see pink lights there, and a door where there's square lights, and obviously in anamorphic it's all distorted, and it's slightly like distorted towards like this. I mean, like that shot could just be a painting, and I would have put in my wall, dude. Like crazy. Like, you know what? Like, if we just export this whole movie in PNG or like JPEGs, we could see so many painting structures in this, because uh, mainly the I would love to keep a painting where they do the dance in that hilltop region where it's iconic movie scene, all the blue light, all the blue colors there, and sudden and very it's like giving the dawn and evening vibes. So the blue and the what do you say, the shiny color really, I don't know, we don't see that usually anywhere, but it looked like a fairy tale set in the modern, but in a vintage style. Even though we see a lot of references of vintage 1990s, but it's all set up in the modern generation. So in a way, this approach also, it takes a lot of time to do this. It's not very easy. Director and the movie maker, like obviously they could have taken very uh, light approach where they could show entire movie in a modern setup, but they knew this modern is nothing modern, it's all like crap. So they went to the vintage, the classical romantic stuff. They 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 took the inspiration from the vintage classical thing, and they placed it in the modern world. So this blend always works, like no matter what. Even Sex Education, this works. Even in La La Land, this works. Like I really love this setup. Like, and yeah, one more thing, I never imagined this, but when they go to the club where the famous tap dance happens, where Sebastian plays in the piano and she dances, the camera from right to left, left to right. There, when they have this conversation in the table, there, like from nowhere, I see Keith, Keith, who was supposed to be a singer, like John Legend. So I was like, what is John Legend doing in this movie? Like, okay, if like for the audience, I would tell John Legend is the guy who was in the intro album of Metro Boomin's superheroes and villains, where he was the guy who, after, I mean, before Morgan Freeman's, he does this verse. So I was like, what the hell is John Legend doing in this movie? Then I was like, okay, I think he might come to this. He came to this movie just for the cameo purpose. Then I was like, oh damn man, this guy's carrying the whole movie with Sebastian. So it was great seeing. In fact, I guess this is my first time watching a band screen, because I've never seen his movies. So Emma Stone, yeah man, Emma Stone also great. Like we could see that from Birdman to what do you say, this La La Land. She really changed her acting skills, and she made it very really really good. And yeah, man, like if I meet Emma Stone any day, I would just tell her to, like, you really played very good role in La La Land, and for me, I would say that that's your best performance, at least till now, what I've seen. I would just say this to her, and yeah, man, I would say this. You're beautiful.
You know, the sequence that happened in Griffith Observatory when
Ah,
these guys went for the movie, and then because the movie got spoiled, they went to the observatory. You know, that sequence was very beautiful when they were dancing in the stars. It was so dreamy but beautiful at the same
yeah.
time. You know
They
how
were they were
welcome.
they
You
were
know,
like
people.
running on the clouds.
Yeah, yeah. You know, people would say like, oh, you are saying it in a way like how girls like the Hollywood movie, sorry, romantic movies. But
Ah,
no, I liked it because the,
yeah.
the the way it was, the visuals were
Yes, yes.
carrying everything,
Yeah.
right? And
See,
you know,
actually,
it was
actually, I don't like romantic movies, nor I see it. It's just purely from visual point of view. what made us feel like we are not robots. We are obviously human beings. We have emotions. So what made us so engaging and so lively? So that's what we're talking about. Obviously, for girls, girls go mad for this movie. I know this, but yeah, we as a filmmakers from a point of view, this really teaches us how to get the shots perfectly and how do you play with lights, how do you stage, how do you block, how do you choreograph characters, how do you compose a scene. Man, there's a lot of things to learn from this movie, man. It's just not a movie made for the audience, but even for filmmakers, it's a lot of things to study also.
Okay, I guess this is the time I should tell you that I don't know whether you know it or not.
Yeah, yeah.
So, how many Academy Awards this movie won?
I guess there are 6 Academy uh, awards.
Because one Emma Stone.
I'm not sure, like 6, but somewhere very quickly I was just going through this. I guess if you can just cross verify it, just
So no, no, no. There's no need for that
yeah.
because there were two Academy Awards that were main for me were the cinematography and
Huh.
Emma Stone received for Best Actress in Leading Role.
Okay.
So you know what happened? This movie came in 2016, and there was this one more movie called Moonlight that came in
Mm-hmm.
2016.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what happened when the in Academy Award they were announcing the movie that won Academy Award? They said La La Land. So everybody
Mm.
was so happy,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they went on the stage. And then Jimmy Kimmel starts saying, "Sorry, sorry, guys. I guess there is a mistake there
Oh, okay.
because it was not La La Land, it was Moonlight."
The
And
fuck.
when I was watching this movie in the morning today, and I was like, shit, man, the director, the producer, the cinematographer, all the cast and crew who put their efforts to make this movie, right?
Mm.
They should not feel this way. If they were not winning, it would have been fine. But saying that they won and then they are going on the stage, the producers, the directors,
Oh,
right?
that's so
Cast and crew, and
disrespectful.
yeah, yeah. And then saying like, sorry guys, this happened and all. So
Oh,
that was kind of bummer for me to know that a movie which was so great, La La Land
uh,
is one of the best movies that came in its decades,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and happening some this kind of fortunate event is so
Man,
bad
like
to
now
see all that.
now I kind of feel bad, like kind of annoyed with the Oscar thing. Like, man, how could you just do this? Like, man.
Means that imagine, think about Emma Stone. She just received Academy Award for that, and she's happy that our movie just received the best picture, and then you are
Man.
going on stage and you are like, no, 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 it's a mistake. What just happened? And
Dude, it
like
can
how
it can break anyone's heart there, bro. Like
exactly?
imagine like all the movie makers are on the stage and they say no, just go back. Like, man, that's like next level of insult. Like, how do you like?
How careless people can be.
Yeah.
If a movie is not receiving an Academy Award, it's fine,
Mhm.
right? But why are you calling the wrong names?
Yeah,
You
man.
know, it should not happen. And after watching this movie, I was like, man, these guys did a great thing to because Moonlight has its own way of storytelling.
Mhm.
I started watching it, but I haven't finished the movie. So, but for the visual creation part, this movie cannot be defeated, and it will always be remembered. People
Mhm.
are going to say it's a romantic musical movie, but I would say
Mhm.
it is a well composed visual narrative movie that cannot be defeated.
Yes, yes.
Well choreographed movie, right? And love story was part of it.
Mhm.
Music was part of it, but the whole movie was carried through the visuals, the
Mhm.
narrative, right? And these two characters, Sebastian and Mia, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
because those were the main, it's just like these two are cabs who were taking us through the city, and the city was La La Land.
Yeah, yeah. In a way, in a way, we can see that La La Land had so many references of Hollywood. They kind of place this whole movie as like they were telling that audience, okay, this all movie was shot in Hollywood, like as a set. We could see a lot of scenes where it was all composed, blocking, staging was happening. It felt like we were in a movie set, and we could see that Sebastian and Mia were having this conversation in a street there. Hollywood like praise, like they do some stuff. They were kind of talking something funny about Hollywood. So
Yeah, they worship the
yeah,
talent, but
yeah, yeah,
never like take care of it, something like that, or
yeah,
never pay it enough. Like they worship it, but they are like not respecting it the way
yeah.
they
Mhm.
should, right?
Yeah. And yeah, one more thing is like it all feels like you're obviously in a set. Some scenes in this movie doesn't seem like it's all reality. It's all like dreamy based. Obviously, this movie wanted to show that it's all dreamy and fake. And at this setting of the movie, staging and creating that fake sets works for this because obviously it had this theme. Like I guess this was shot in Hollywood itself, like in the studios. Like yeah, obviously yeah, what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it was Hollywood, obviously too.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
Hollywood only. It was California,
So
Los Angeles.
yeah, man, like they had like so many extras, man. Like I could just only imagine like how did they take care of so large team, very well choreographed, and it's all synced together. It feels so amazing, man. Like you know what? This is Halala Land for me is a type of movie which it's like once in 5 years or once in 2 or 3 years. When I see this kind of movies, it questions my life. Okay, life is actually good. It's just I'm taking it very seriously, or it's all like should I just be in La La Land or should I just be in real life? And this kind of movies questions me like, man, it's so crazy to be in dream and have the life what you think. Like it's not like what's life going on. It's just you create your scenarios in your head and you just revolve around this thing. I know sometimes reality strikes you hard, but in a way I feel that when you dreamland when you are in your dreamland, you feel that you are the main character of the whole scenario because I can relate to this because whenever I see a very good movie in theater, uh, when I'm seeing the movie, like suddenly there are few uh, parts where I feel that I am the part of the movie. Then suddenly movie stops and the end credits starts, where we come out of the movie theater and be like, okay, the the dreamy thing ended and now we're part of reality. And you know what? That's the worst part of watching every movie on theater. That whenever I enter a theater, like it's always like excited me. It's all there's never been like a day or like any movie where I've been like, okay, shit, man, I have to watch this movie. Like it's always been, oh man, like I try to be early as possible sometimes. And it's always in the middle of the watching movie, I feel like, oh man, I'm invested in this movie. And uh, the sad part of leaving theaters is like when you come out of the screen and you see people celebrating, crying, and full of joy, and they just come out of the screen and they see a reality. Suddenly, door opens and you feel that light coming in. Now it's not all dark there. It's light there, but you just come to the reality where we can see that Jim and Mia and Sebastian come to the reality at the end, where it's all like it's not good for them, but I would not say not good for me, but we could see that it's not thing what we imagine in our mind. So in a way, this kind of feels similar to my life too when I compare La La Land to the things what I love.
Yeah, man, it's about achieving the one thing and the best of it,
Yes,
and
yes,
and leave everything behind, and
yeah,
that's how you do it. and
Yeah, yeah.
and that because dude, that is the way. Naruto, the series that
Mm,
came in 2002, there was this dialogue in first or third episode. It's like there is no easy way
mm,
of
mm.
achieving the best version of yourself. There is no easy way.
Yes, yes.
You are actually you are actually chasing you and you alone.
Mm,
You know, if you do that thing in the best way possible, how you would be. So you
mm.
are just like Matthew McConaughey say that I will be keep on chasing that person and I'm never going to achieve it.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Yeah. So that's why I felt very good about Mia. It's just what is a narrative? What is a
Mm,
good narrative? Having so many layers into it, right? And that is what this movie has. What is the meaning of putting music and love? Is
mm.
just creating depth, contrast,
Yeah, yeah.
meaning to it, right? It should not just about photography. It should also about taking people through one place to another. It was a very
Mm.
simple story that one person is trying to become an actor. She becomes an actor. And if one person is trying to become a jazz artist, they become a jazz artist. And if one person is trying to become an actor, she becomes an actor. And they just decided to stay away. But it is not that
Uh,
simple. It
I,
is it
I,
is way more.
I think when you say one person is becoming an actor, we lost you there.
Yeah. So one person trying to become an actor and one person is trying to become a jazz artist,
Mm,
right? That was the motivation of two people. That was the
mm,
outer motivation, right? And they luckily they met, but they decided to uh,
mm,
stay apart so that Mia can become something, and then Sebastian became something,
mm.
right? That is a simple story,
Yes, yes.
but this is where we see the layers of the story, the love story, their motivation, but the visuals are there, the music is there, right?
The
So
sacrifices.
yeah, means part of the narrative
Yeah,
only,
yeah.
the story part only, the sacrifice that was necessary in order to achieve their outer motivations, and they just did it, you know.
Mm,
After obviously they were at the obviously when they saw each other after 5 years, they couldn't took their eyes away from each other. But
yeah, yeah.
it's just when they smiled at each other at the last, they would say that it was worth it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Obviously, they will be like, okay, no matter we are not together, but in a way, we both achieve something in our life, and it's a win-win situation that we got to tie each other, like we got to be together at the first, but we had to go in our ways because things weren't in our favor, but it was good decision that they weren't together and they were focused in their own lives. And imagine imagine if
And it was worth it.
yeah,
That
yeah,
is the thing. Na? It was worth it looking at each other that yes, we made the sacrifices that was necessary, but it was worth it that I am where you wanted me to be, and you are where I wanted you to be.
yeah, yeah.
And that is what happiness is all about.
Yes, yes,
Seeing the people you love achieving their dreams.
yes,
Dude, that
yeah.
is what the narrative is.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know they didn't end up together, but they they end up doing achieving their dreams. Like, I think that covers everything. Like, if they didn't end up together, that's fine. But as an audience, I felt like, oh shit, man, like they could have ended, but now if I look at other way, they didn't end up together because they wanted to achieve something big. And yeah, man, like, and yeah, we spoke about musical film and we didn't talk about music itself. Like, so so in a way, this movie music part was obviously the strong. Obviously, this was a stronger part. Uh, no music in this film felt ridiculous or offbeat. Like every musical felt like it's following a theme. Uh, for me, two highlights of this film, two songs would be the highlight part. Is one the obviously Mia's and what do you say, Mia's and Sebastian's theme, the piano and all the versions. I could see that every 2 minutes or every 5 minutes they used to repeat. they used to play on repeat the songs, different versions from piano, from his singing, from the a cappella side, whatever the humming part, every versions of Mia's and Sebastian theme, I loved it. And one more big layer of it when John Legend played, I mean, the Keth played his song there in the crowd. Even that was amazing, dude. Like because like I've been following John Legend for some time now, at least from almost a year, and I've been going through his work. So yeah, man, like I follow him just for his crazy vocals. So in a way, he performed live there. It felt amazing. Like when sometimes I feel that in my life I want a theme to be played that would be Mia's and Sebastian themes. Not always, but sometimes because that's crazy, man. Like
And what is the second part, second musical part that you liked? First was, I guess, the Mia and
ha.
Sebastian's, and what was the second part?
Second was the when John Legend was playing. Yeah,
Okay.
the
All
whole
right,
song.
all right. Yeah, where Sebastian was playing
Ha,
the
piano. Yeah,
Cassian stuff. Okay. All
where
right.
where Mia was getting thrown from the crowd because obviously the crowd was going in the front.
She was a very good observer, She could
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that this is not what Sebastian wanted,
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know. But
So
it
what do you
was
think
it
about
was
the
really
music
great.
part?
Dude, I just loved it. After completing the movie, I started dancing on that first song,
Hi,
Another Day at Sun, right?
yeah,
Another
yeah.
Day on Sun, something like that,
Uh,
right?
there was some song
And
where crowd silence in the crowd. I guess I don't know what is the name of the song.
I'm talking about the first sequence itself,
The
Another Day at Sun.
the car sequence.
Yeah, the car sequence. Another day of sun. Yeah,
Another day
the
of sun.
first only.
Another day of
Because
sun.
I started dancing in the morning. It was 5 o'clock, and I
Yeah,
started dancing on that. I was like, yeah, it is so relieving. And I'm telling you, I was in
yeah,
that scenario. Like, oh yes, I'm also part of one of those extras, and I'm also
yeah.
performing in one of the corner of that frame.
You know
But
what?
this,
It would be so cool that like I don't like to dance and all. I like just seeing how crazy the people were going when song was playing and how sing choreograph was happening. I felt that okay, I should be just part of the whole choreography just to just be as an audience and like not an audience but being as an extra watching them dance. That would be so cool. Like because they had this somewhat some energy they had. I don't know what they had this whole energy where even through when I was watching through the screen, I felt that energy. Okay, everyone is dancing from that very crazy energy, and yeah, man, that's obviously man. Musical part, musical film did justice to everything.
for the when we look at the extras, every single extra is was a very good actor, very
Yeah,
good
yeah,
actor.
yeah, yeah.
The way they were expressing, the way they were singing,
Hmm.
especially in the first sequence where there was this lady who was in yellow dress who started
Hmm.
singing, and there
Hmm.
was this guy who was in formals, and then there was this black lady who just came out of the car and started singing with that formal guy.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
how well they were acting. Like, yes, there is a musical part in everybody's mind that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want it to come out, but sometimes they are so dead in their lives that it is not possible to pull that
Hmm.
out. It just for some people it is, for some people who want to achieve their dreams, it comes out. And
Hmm.
for some people, and for the fewer people who become something in their life, they were able to show it.
Hmm.
So so it's a long journey, man, to
Yeah,
show who you are actually
yeah.
on the screen, and
And what you
then
become.
get appreciated for it,
Yeah.
and then get appreciated, then get liked by the people. And but the people who do it, no, they are always going to say that the journey was worth it. Whatever
Hmm.
happened, the journey was worth it, because at last we were able to achieve what we wanted to achieve,
Hmm.
right? And that's how I feel about the things that we do. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
man, that is what kind of narrative I pulled out from La La Land. Just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
creativity and narrative, and uh, I felt like this was a very technical talk
Hmm.
that we had after a very long time,
Yeah, very long time.
right? Yeah, yeah, and it's just narrative was so strong that you don't go anywhere else.
Hmm.
We are not talking about any nonsense, right? Right, because there was none.
Yes,
The
yes.
visuals are very great. We are not even giving any examples that we were seeing or anything. We did, but it was somehow related to the visuals itself. The visuals
Hmm.
motivated us to tell our story, our part to it. And yeah, dude, it's great. I just knew that this episode is going to be a long one, and
Yeah,
yeah, it is coming out.
yeah. I was actually frustrated from whole day, like what was going my whole day. You know, the same usual, the work part. But
Same shit happening
yeah,
with me too.
it's always the same, dude. Like it's always complaining. So I can't help it. But in a way, this type of movies, okay, like refreshes your mind and takes you into just journey where you've never been. Like that's the best part of the movies. Like it takes you in a journey where you never imagined or never been there. It changes you as a person and the perspective, changes the perspective you look towards life. In a way, now I can just say that. I kind of look life in a different perspective after watching this movie because there are few things I've noted from this movie, like how would I approach, like what are the approaches I would take in life in further, and like it kind of changes you as a person, like that's the best part of what I felt in La La Land. So yeah, man, like this just movies where it comes like once in decades, once in like lifetimes, or who knows, like once in a lifetime, dude. Like,
Yeah, man, it was worth watching and everything. And now I feel very good about Emma Stone, very
yeah,
good
yeah,
about
yeah.
Ryan Gosling. That these guys are pure actors,
Yes,
pure
yes.
artists. You would
Yeah,
say artists
yeah.
because they are doing an art in a very pure form. And the characters that they performed, Mia and Sebastian, if they would have existed in real life, I would have wanted to meet them. Just like
Yes.
and Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone were able to see that, and it is actually stamped on my brain, just like this is
Hmm.
one of the best performance that these guys did. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
Obviously Emma Stone received Academy Award for this performance, but it was more than that. It was, I felt like Emma Stone was too much into the character, just like she was performing her own life journey. It
Yeah, yeah.
felt it that way. And Ryan Gosling was kind of person that shady personality always, right? And still he was able to come up front, do something for somebody else, right? And also achieve his dream as well. So
Hmm.
these two characters, Sebastian and Mia, were also very very interesting characters
Hmm.
that we can actually talk about those only, like what kind of different scenarios that they could have felt, what kind of life they could have led, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just like Mia said that I should have completed my law school, I guess,
Hmm.
probably. And so if Sebastian would have started doing the tour
Yeah, yeah.
with
But
Keith, life
yeah.
would have led, because sometimes I'm telling you, there are many people out there who want to achieve things, but there are
Hmm.
many less people out there who are actually showing that they wanted to be
Hmm.
what they have become.
You know,
So
yeah,
because there are many very different choices, and yeah, things
yeah.
happens, yeah.
One more interesting thing you just like you came up with. We could actually make an episode where we can just discuss the theories. What if Mia like chose to not do whatever she did in movie rather than choosing a law, and Sebastian chose to be on tour, and what would their life be, and how would the ending be? We could actually make this episode. Like, what do you think?
You know, I figure that when people are going to listen our older episodes, when they are going to come out,
Yeah.
it has always been the part where we are actually guessing what could have happened or what could have happened in a very
Hmm.
different way. It what I would say that these kind of theories are the part of the main content only, right?
Hmm.
And because I don't want to reveal whatever we said in the previous episodes that people
Hmm.
are going to listen, but
Yeah. It's
it's
gonna be
just a wild
spoilers.
guess. It's just a
Yeah.
wild guess. We can yeah,
Hmm.
we can pick out the movies, and it's just we motivate about these kind of theories when we actually because when
Hmm.
we discuss, we understand, okay, what he said, what I said, okay, that is how the perspective is. And then we think,
Hmm.
okay, what I just don't know whether if we start the approach from there itself only, that what could have happened. I don't know whether how the approach is going to go
Yeah.
forward. But yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
it's our show. It's our audience. We can do whatever the
Yes.
hell we
Yes.
want. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like,
definitely.
it makes sense that digging back to what we spoke in earlier episodes and getting back to the same track doesn't feel the same because obviously now we're in a setting where we both are familiar to this movie right now, and maybe in few episodes or maybe in few other episodes, we would not be in the mind state where we would be like into the our La La Land. So obviously our thoughts and our motivations would be different. So I that's what our what do you say, narrative towards the approach, narrative towards the episode would change. So yeah, I guess even the thoughts would change or whatever we say will change. So if audience wants to like wants this episode, then you can just comment us or just whatever. Like we will try to make this, or else we'll
Yeah,
just or else we'll just stick to
definitely.
this episode and we'll just do this our part.
And guys, go out there, watch the movies, study them as much as you can. Guys, we always like to talk about movies because we just it's just these movies gets into our nerves every single time, and it's like we are getting high when we are talking about these movies.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like and it's worth getting high about.
yeah,
And La La Land, man, it's so beautiful movie.
yeah.
It's really
Now,
so beautiful.
now when I look at the musical films, now I kind of have a different approach. That whenever I look towards musical film, I will be like, okay, musical film will be like a rhythmic pattern and would be some very basic stuff. I would not look at this pattern at least from now on because this La La Land kind of changed my perspective towards musical films, and now I'm kind of hoping for Joker 2, which will be musical film as well. So I don't, I yeah,
West Side Story, you remember 3 years back, West Side
yeah,
Story,
yeah, yes,
Steven Spielberg.
yes, yes, yes,
I guess we should talk about that also
yeah,
because
yeah,
there also he taken same kind of approach only,
yeah, yeah.
and yeah, it's a musical movie. So
You know what? When we discuss about West Side Story, some person is gonna go crazy mad. I don't know that
don't go there.
I don't know that person is watching our episode or not, but I'm sure that person is gonna go mad. We'll just
Well, whatever.
yeah, yeah. Like what I'm saying is like
Him and his sensitive disciples.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, man. Like I'm rooting for the movie Joker 2, which will be coming in October. Uh, Obviously we're gonna make episode on that, but I'm kind of thinking that how will they approach it because this is kind of very light tone, and Joker 2, which is very dark tone. How are they gonna do it musical? Uh, it's interesting. We'll just see how it goes. Obviously, you're gonna hear it from our side. It'll be crazy, man.
Yes. Yeah, I would love to because I have never seen Lady Gaga performing on
Yeah.
screen, so that would be a very first
Like
time.
I've never seen a dark movie which is musical, man. Like how could director come with this vision like making a dark movie, but in a musical film? Like I'm just waiting
I'm
how.
just thinking,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking if Joaquin Phoenix receive Academy Award again for this role, it would be
Dude,
legendary, man.
it would not be any shocking for me because now the movie is not released. We're just seeing through trailers itself. While watching trailer itself, I could see that man, this guy's improved his acting from this old movie, Joker. He's become more darker and he's become more witty. Like he's into the character, like fully into character. I'm not sure of the Lady Gaga because I've never seen her acting. If Lady Gaga surprises me, man, like she would just be in my surprising actors
For
list.
the record, she's hot. She's
Lady
hot, man.
Gaga, okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah. She is, dude. She's, but yeah, seeing her on screen, that would be the first time of
yeah.
mine. So let's
But
see whenever it comes.
yeah, but to be
Let's
honest,
see.
I'm not eagerly waiting to see Lady Gaga on screen. I'm eagerly waiting to see Joaquin Phoenix on screen because that man can literally shaken any person, man. Like he could just scare the shit out of you, and he could just give you thrills, man. Like so, yeah, man. Just waiting to be crazy.
Same. Obviously, for the Joaquin Phoenix reason, if Joaquin
Yeah,
Phoenix wouldn't have been there, nobody would
yeah.
have watched this movie. But and it would be interesting to see how the chemistry is going to work between Harley Quinn and
Ha.
Joker, and how the I want to also know if they are introducing Harley Quinn, how she is going to perform in the movie, like not
Yeah,
just the
yeah, yeah,
musical part,
yeah.
but whatever the things, because Harley Quinn is one of my favorite characters of DC
Same,
world,
same here.
and Harley Quinn, not because Margaret Robbie performed it, it's just because I've watched so many DC animated
Hmm.
movies. So there, Harley Quinn is very ruthless,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I want to see like what kind of activities they are going to make
Hmm.
this Harley Quinn do, and what kind of, yeah, criminal activities she gonna do. And obviously in the trailer we can see that she is obsessed
Hmm.
with Joker, but I want to know because in the real story she was the psychiatrist of Joker. I want to
Hmm.
see whether how things are going to work in this, because in the trailer I was on she was displayed as the patient itself, but I want to know like whatever the approach is, because the story is going to roam around both of these,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So there are
In
obviously going to
in a
be
way,
those kind of
i- yeah.
events that are going to highlight or elevate Harley Quinn.
In a way, we see in trailer that it's all dreamy sequence. Like few things are reality and few things are dreamy, like in the mind. So I'm just excited to see how they're gonna blend reality into dream sequence. That would be crazy, man. Yeah,
Yeah, man. Let's wait for it, and it would be
yeah,
worth
yeah,
it.
yeah,
And yeah, man, it was hell of a talk today, and it
yeah.
actually stretched. It's been
Oh,
one and a half hour, I
it's
guess.
already 1 hour 30 minutes. Yeah, man.
Listeners, I hope you liked it because
Yeah.
I just loved it. I loved
Yes.
it, man. I'm gonna watch this movie again soon.
Sure. Yeah. Same here. I'm. You know what? This is the type of movie. Uh, this has become a comfort movie where I could just play it anytime, and I would just love the part wherever this movie is getting started from. And yeah, man, I'm gonna rewatch this very soon, and I'm gonna keep watching it again and again. I'm gonna cherish this moment like watching La La Land. Obviously,
I guess every single time we're gonna watch this,
yeah.
we're gonna figure out something new.
True,
Because
true.
obviously for the
Yeah.
because I was observing. Look, when we are watching a movie, we also enjoy it.
Yes.
We are
Yes.
also normal audience, right? Yes,
Yes.
we also watch movies like you. It's just our observation is kind of different when we watch it. But obviously, when we're gonna watch it one time and another time, there were other things, other deeper meanings that will be able
Mm-hmm.
to pull out. But yeah, guys, we will be looking forward for your
Yeah.
suggestions and new movies as well. And we're gonna be excited about that. And dude,
Yeah.
it was great talking about this movie. I guess
Yeah.
I'm not bragging about myself, but we both did
Yeah.
pretty good observations today because yeah,
Yes.
and it was great.
Yeah.
Let's see what audience going to think about us. And
Yeah.
yeah, I guess this is it from my side, guys. I guess I'll be
Yeah.
we'll be taking off now.
Yeah. So for the audience, if you liked our podcast, this episode, you can just share it and comment your best part of this podcast. And if you wish us to see us more bringing out this content like this, please let us know what episodes we're gonna talk about in future, and give us a recommendation, and tell us why this movie is your favorite, and tell and share it with your friends and share with your loved ones, obviously. And we're gonna hear
Like,
you.
subscribe,
Yeah.
and do whatever you wanna do with the bell icon. And guys, just go and watch movies.
Yes.
That's the and yeah, have fun.
Yeah, man. Like, have fun, guys, and just tell us. And we gonna just sign off from our La La Land. We're gonna go in our
Yeah,
reality now.
back to
Yeah.
work.
Yes. I mean, now back to sleep.
Okay, guys, have fun.
Yes.
Nice
It
talking
was
to everybody,
nice,
and
and
yeah,
see you in the next episode very soon.
because tomorrow is another day of sun, so let's look forward to it.